Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard with you live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Pop the champagne bottles, baby.
Yeah.
NFL is back. Somebody with a premature pop right before the show started. A little too excited. That would be my on-air partner here.
I got champagne all over the desk. I didn't even open it. The thing shot right up. I almost took my eye out.
Yeah, well.
You're going to, come on. Put it up. We made it.
Can we call somebody in here to clean up a mess on aisle 5, please?
Oh, man.
Champagne goes all over. You're a big champagne guy, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Instant headache.
Yeah, Paul loves it too. That's a good observation. Good call. I get a headache every time.
Every time. It's automatic.
Yeah, damn right.
But it feels great to have it back. On the program today, Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian. Going to have him for a couple of segments. And how about Phil Hellmuth making his Follow the Money debut a little bit later on, Pauly?
I dodge bullets, baby.
He is part of the Fade Us Sports podcast. Now, with the VSiN network of podcasts that we have here available wherever you get your podcasts, I heard Mike Matusow on, one of his co-hosts on the podcast on last night with VSiN Primetime. Oh, my God. He admitted to flat out being a total degenerate when it comes to sports betting. I want to know what Phil's like. He also was talking trash about Phil.
Yeah.
He said he only plays favorites. He said that Phil has like 10 favorites already in pocket for this week.
Wow.
So I want to see if Phil's going to talk smack back at Mike. All right. It's here, man. Have you done anything with this game at all tonight yet?
Oh, I got a lot. More action than John Wick movie,
Anything
baby.
additionally to what you had in pocket yesterday?
Well, I thought John Hansen has a great article up on vsin.com and put me on some more props. John with an excellent breakdown on several props. I know I'm going to ride with you on Lamb over. I thought Sal Pal was excellent yesterday on Devontae Smith. Made a strong case for Smith over and also to get him involved, and he expects a big year from Smith. Then John Hansen comes over the top saying Eberflus second most cover 3 coverage last year with the Bears, and he thinks Smith is going to benefit from that and go off and he'll get high 50s, low 60s as well. He thinks it's free money with Williams over receiving yards. Javonte, the Cowboys running back, that he's going to be on the field most of the time, and the guy can't get 13 yards receiving. He likes his receptions over as well. And Turd Ferguson, a deep cut. So the last time we saw the Eagles, they played an unbelievable game, dismantled and destroyed and embarrassed Mahomes. 2 garbage touchdowns at the end, misleading score. But prior to that, they could not contain the tight end in the 2 playoff games, and especially the NFC Championship. Ertz had 16 targets and 11 catches in that game in the duo in L.A. Higbee got hurt, then Parkinson came in. So if you take those 2 games, they had 20 for 167 and 3 scores. Ferguson has a low number for yards tonight. I wouldn't put you off any time touchdown as well, but he's got several props and a terrific write-up on vsin.com, and he put me on some more. And then, of course, we'll get nuts with the kicking props coming up later.
Sure. Well, I can expand on that here in a little bit as well. I did all the deep digging that you need on Brandon Aubrey, the amazing kicker for the Dallas Cowboys, comparing him to Jake Elliott tonight, his counterpart for the Eagles. That is coming up in a little bit. Did you know that Jalen Hurts has scored Philadelphia's first touchdown of the game 19 times in the last 3 years?
Oh, strong.
Did it 6 times last year. Barkley also did it 6 times last year.
Well, I had to play the Glenn and Quincy prop, too, then.
Under 1.5?
Under 1.5 shortest touchdown.
I think we will get at least a couple of attempts tonight with the tush push. It's who they are. It's what they do. So we could absolutely see that. Hertz is plus 285 in that neighborhood to score Philly's first touchdown of the game tonight. That's a very low number. And, of course, because of his history, he and Barkley are, almost unbettable in my opinion. But also, did you know that Saquon Barkley did not score a touchdown against Dallas last year? In the first game, he had 14 for 66 on the ground, 1 catch, 12 yards, no touchdowns.
Blowout.
They both were, right? Yeah. Dak did not play in either game. And in the last game against Dallas, he had 31 carries for 167 yards, 2 catches for 2 yards, and no touchdowns in that game.
In that game, Smith had 120 and 2 scores.
Yes.
Another reason for Smith over tonight.
Barkley,
as well. Yep.
You might be able to find a better number. I was looking at plus 140 earlier today to not score in the game tonight. Because he's so high on the yes, books are going to start to offer the no on more of these guys. So I thought that was interesting. But again, the main guys for the first touchdown for the Eagles last year, Barkley hurt 6 times each, Brown 3 times. If you go back, Philly cashed, this is last year, the first touchdown in every game from week 14 to the Super Bowl. They scored the first touchdown in 16 out of 21 games they played, in playoffs included, obviously. Dallas scored the first touchdown only 6 out of 17 regular season games. But again, you wipe away Dak from half the slate, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. He is minus 170 to throw a pick. You believe that?
That high, huh? Well,
yes.
The thought is,
this is like Winston territory.
His attempts for the game tonight is a high 30, so...
Yeah. It's all right there for us.
You figured that he's going to be slinging it around so much. That...
The Eagles have the lead. Cowboys playing catch-up. Horrible Dallas defense. We think can't run the ball. I don't see how he doesn't get to 250 yards passing. He's got to get that as far as I'm concerned. And then plus the history, when the champs or home team open up the season, I got him a 16-4 straight up run. Hasn't been great ATS, but they win the game. So it's interesting that there's no talk of repeat. This is a different year. They won't be on the field when they unveil the banner. Sirianni and company saying all the right things. A.J. Brown, we moved on. We're the champs. Okay, different year. Let's go get them. Let's take out the Cowboys here. And this is, so I got them a 16-4 run. And as you pointed out, both games were a blowout last year. No problem with Philadelphia.
Is there something to this angle? I was watching a preview earlier today from the DGen Weekly on X. Does a really good job. Cool dude, too. I met him out here in Las Vegas before. Lives on the East Coast, I believe, in New York. He thinks that based on Schottenheimer being the head coach, and you go back and look at his history as an OC with the Seahawks, what did they like to do more than anything else? Establish the run early and often.
Right. They couldn't stand him there. Right.
Right. And then even a guy like Chris Carson had a career high back, 7-8 years ago now with more than 1,200 yards rushing. I like Chris Carson quite a bit. He only lasted a little bit because of neck injuries in the NFL. But is there an angle there where we're going to be frustrated tonight watching the game because Schottenheimer, again, that's what he does. That's his MO. We're going to try to establish the run, keep the running game going, even if they're really good defensively at slowing us down in this game tonight. Yeah. And we see heavy running behind Javonte Williams trying to lead this Dallas Cowboys ground game.
Yeah.
I could see that being an angle because of Schottenheimer.
Yeah, could be. Now, I think the bigger question is, because what was the whole talk the first month of the season? These kickers are too good. And 50 yards was automatic.
That was your talk, yeah.
We got to narrow the goalpost, right? It's not fair. And Boswell was 6 for 6 in the week 1 game, and it was, guys are hitting from 55, no problem. So Big Mike didn't care. He would trot that guy out from 60 like it was a layup.
Yep.
And most of the time he made them. So that's my big takeaway. And what's Schottenheimer going to do? Does he realize he might have the best kicker of all time? And just say, 4th and 7, 4th and 6, I'm trying a 55-yard field goal. And he was 14 of 17 last year from 50 plus. I think one was blocked. He hit from 65, 60, 58, 57, and 55. So again, nothing's a lock. But I love these bets where every Cowboy game, it's $1.20 for the Cowboys to make the longest field goal.
Actually, Paul, you know what?
The
number moved in our favor. It's even money.
Are you kidding?
No, I have to bet that.
Yeah.
It's got to be a bet.
In 2023, he was 10 of 10 from 50 plus. Hit from 60, 58, and 55. Plus, you have all the issues I don't trust the Philly kicker.
I have numbers on that.
Yeah.
Now, last year, Jake Elliott was 1 of 7, 50 yards plus. His longest field goal on the year was exactly 50 yards. If you go back to 2023, he was much better. Yep. 7 of 8 from 50 plus, but his longest was 61. And I looked at every single game log from a season ago. I mean, it's from week 1 to week 6 before the bye. This is the longest field goal made by Aubrey in each game. 57, 52, 65, 60, 55, and 50. He was only out-kicked for the longest made field goal in the game 5 times on the year. The first time was week 18, and then it happened 4 times from week 12 to week 18. But other than that, he absolutely, and
he's also backup quarterback. Sure, okay.
That's exactly right. And they weren't scoring as many points in some of these games, so he didn't have the opportunities to do so.
Mm-hmm.
But even money, that's one of those things where if I lose, fine, I lose. But even money on him to have the longest field goal of the game has to be a bet, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Both teams to make a 33-yard field goal is also even money. So welcome back primetime games. And all your kicking props and all the props are available. A low number here at Circa. Defense or special teams touchdown, no, minus 260. It's $3 in the game tomorrow. NFL's back tonight. It's here. We made it. And get VSiN's NFL Betting Guide 2.0. Post preseason team updates, proven betting systems, contest strategies, and best bets from week 1 and beyond. Pair it with the College Football Betting Guide and get both for as little as $9.99 for your first 30 days. Subscribe now, vsin.com/subscribe. The website's fire. All the guides are phenomenal. Get it now. Never too late. vsin.com/subscribe, and you will fall in love with the prop analyzer as well. And go read John Hansen's prop breakdown on the game tonight. It's great.
I have not submitted it yet, but out of all of the Survivor entries that I have, I believe at least one entry tonight will be on the Eagles. I think not going to do it here at Circa,
all right,
but very close to pulling the trigger on the one over at the Westgate on the Eagles for the game tonight. Win-lose up next. And my prediction, it looks like it came true on what the red zone is going to be like this year. But we will ask you, how are you going to react if a wrecking ball takes out the red zone channel moving forward?
On September 19th, producer Jordan Peele invites you to the movie Him and asks the question, what are you willing to sacrifice for greatness?
I ain't a killer, but don't do you want what I have?
Yes, sir. And worshiped you growing up.
You have to take it from me.
Never meet
Do you want to know what you're getting yourself into?
your idols.
Just think of it as a gift from the gods. Run.
Him, directed by Justin Tipping, only in theaters September 19th, rated R.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays.
Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
A lot of action last night. The tennis was phenomenal as well. Anna Samova takes out Iga, plus 330. Big payout. She moves on to the semis tomorrow to take on Osaka, who opened $2 at DraftKings and closed as high as $320. And she is back. She's had a hell of a run in this tournament. Blue Jays most runs 12-1. Highest scoring game, Jays Reds 15-1, and 22+ runs scored in any game plus 350. Cashes again. Braves plus 140. Orioles plus 160. Pirates plus 170. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos. At Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in, we'll put you on. Mitch tweeted this out a while back. When was this? In Alaska, halibut fishing with the Fu Manchu?
I want to say 20 years ago this month.
Is it?
No, August. So, yeah, it was 20 years ago, though.
Right.
That bad boy's 104 pounds right there. It took me 15 minutes to reel it in.
Really?
One of the best days of my entire life.
Is that right?
Oh, my God. Alaska, I went up there twice back-to-back years. I had 78 degrees every day. I could not tell you how awesome it was.
Oh, you caught some nice weather.
Oh, unbelievable.
I went, yeah.
You could not have gone better.
When I was there, it was like in the 60s. And
we went floating the Kenai River all day one day.
Uh-huh.
It's God's country.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you like the handlebar mustache on that guy?
Yes, good. A lot of people love that. That is something. Yeah? That's not a knife. This is a knife. This is my cousin in Alaska, Mikey. There's a halibut for you.
That's a big boy.
Look at the size of that thing. It's as big as he is.
No kidding. What does that weigh? Do you
and
have any idea?
He's a bouncer at the Bush Company.
Oh, he lives up there.
Yes, it's my cousin.
Was he working up there when I went up there 20 years ago?
Yeah.
I probably saw him.
They lived there, sure. They've lived there forever. The dad works for American Airlines, and they get the money from the pipeline. What does he call pipeline?
Yeah, pipeline, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
They put it into Google or something, Apple, I don't know.
That would be
They're
a
living
dream
the
job.
dream.
Like in the summers only, if you could live up there and like go fishing or be a fishing guide like every day.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't get any better.
Oh, I thought you said working at the Bush Company.
Well, that would be the weekend highlight, yeah.
Sure, okay, excellent.
That talent, by the way, whew, you would never guess it. I'm telling you.
You get up there, I know.
It's
Why there? Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take your word for it. I believe you. We got a dog video. Always got to sneak a dog video in at the gate. Coming in. Look at this. He got it all figured out. He's climbing all the way up the gate. Easy peasy.
What?
No problem. Look at that. Just get.
And they go, whoa!
He's got it. He had it the whole time. Yeah, not a problem.
Halfway down the other side, face first, and then...
That is serious. He's climbing like a human. No problem. Spider-Man. What a job by this dog. And just flips over there as well. You know, Bailey, the beagle we had with Megabucks, she would just jump on the gate as well. Which, half that size. It's like you could scratch your belly, but to her it was worth the punishment. For the line move, sharp plays already there. They don't just follow the market, they help move it. You're not going to outsmart or outmuscle billion-dollar books of full-time sharps on your own with the sharp plays you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI, plugged into trusted insider sources. Sharp Plays delivers the edge series bettors use every day. Free reports, alerts, market-moving insights sent straight to your inbox or X feed. Jeff and the crew have been at it since 2011. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com. Trusted by pros. Watched by the books. Visit SharpPlays.com and stay ahead of the line. Go get them. Good luck. Get up there.
All right, we can't get our mail in Philadelphia, evidently. Tons of tweets in the first segment saying, guys, very windy in the area right now. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour.
Oh, it doesn't bother me.
No. And,
not with this guy. This guy's got the biggest leg of all time.
And Kevin Roth tweeted out, well, I think this goes like last night. He was saying that wind should be like 10 miles an hour on game time. Should not be a problem. He was also expecting a little bit of rain maybe in the game. But you're right. I mean, he's got a cannon for a leg. Those things go... Yeah. He can kick a 50-yarder in a hurricane.
Who made the 70-yarder? Little? In the preseason?
Jacksonville.
Yeah. A good job. Because after that happened, Caesars put up, will that happen? It opened 20-1. It's now 10. 10-1. Will there be a 70-yard field goal?
What would you lay on the no? Would you lay...
Will we have an attempt? Who's going to try a 70-yard field goal in a game?
You know what?
That lunatic Kiffin did it once with Seabass. He wasn't even close.
Well, that was a 76-yarder.
I know. He wanted to get fired. That's why he did it.
You know, think about this. At the time, Sebastian Janikowski had probably the best leg we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Modern day.
Yeah.
These guys blow him out of the water. Aubrey's one of a kind here that we're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I was watching one Was it, might have been Sly. The guy came out from 58. He hit the net.
There was, it was a preseason game. Because we had a 63-yarder this year as well in the preseason. Because Sly, I think, made a 61-yarder, and he did not have the longest field goal of the night. The 63-yarder actually beat him. That's when I said I got to get off this longest field goal made under 64.5 this year. Mm-hmm. So here's an update on the red zone, and I predicted this yesterday on the show. My comparison or my analogy was going to be, look, I mean, they're not going to completely come in and say, hey, guys, now we're going to go away for 3 minutes, and you're not going to see any football action on the red zone. My prediction was it was going to be the play-through method when you're watching golf. So they keep it in a double box, but the golf goes like to one of the corners of the TV, and then the commercial's on the other side of the TV, and the commercial has the audio on it. You can then keep watching the game or the golf play through with no audio. That's evidently what they're going to do. Front Office Sports had this information earlier today. There will be 4 15-second ads in the 7+ hours of Red Zone in Week 1. There will not be full ad breaks where the football action disappears. Instead, the ads will run in a double box format with ad audio playing in the NFL with the red zone while that continues in the other box. So they're not going to completely destroy it that way. And I've told people before that I think the red zone could be improved anyway.
Big time.
I want to see more double boxes, triple quad boxes.
Go quad box.
Sure. And
why not go quad box, especially at the late games?
Yeah. I totally agree. Especially when you have a week where there are only 3 late games, and they do that to us all the time. Put them all up at the same exact time. And they would also pretend, hey, let's go live to Heinz Field. Uh-oh, we have some action here.
Oh, they lie to you.
Come on. It happened 6 minutes ago. We all know this. We have phones. We're watching elsewhere. It's not real time.
Yes.
But they would also stay on the same game for far too long.
Yep.
But first of all, is red zone as big as we think it might be? Or do people actually just say, nah, I'm watching my team, or I'm watching the game with the audio that I have the biggest bet on that day? Like, I don't, because we're so close to this, I don't know how other people
as
consume the sport.
Yeah, as I recall, if you had the DirecTV, when you had the package, you could have the game mix, and every game would be on that channel, which was great. That's, to me, the best. Just have it up there, and you got 8 games all on one screen. But now with the job YouTube's done, and you can put your own 4 together. But good question. I still think it's popular, and it can be improved. But I would think you have to have it, especially if you're a bettor and you just love the sport, and with the fantasy implications,
right?
Because they show you every touchdown. Yeah,
this is from our buddy Nish. He's been watching Red Zone since he had DirecTV, goes back several years. Now with Verizon, commercials or not, what choice do I have? They know it. They know I'm going to watch. If you have the package, you can then do the multi-view and have multiple screens up. If you have 2 TVs and in one setting, you can have 4 on this TV and 4 other on the other, because they let you build your own multi-view experiences now on YouTube TV, which is great. This is from Gary on X. He's already pot committed for the Red Zone. If it becomes a dumpster fire, I think it will, then I'm out.
Yeah.
I don't think adding the ads like this is going to destroy it. I really don't. And that was kind of my first takeaway yesterday when I heard it. I'm curious if they're open to making it better than what it was.
Do you watch I can't remember what it's called, but MLB Network does it a lot. And they did last year. The game mix, whatever they called it, and there would be a guy in the studio like Hanson, and he'd just talk about the games and all the highlights, and they'd have 3 games on at the same time. And then they'd walk the dog.
Yeah.
They'd zip around.
Right.
That's what they should do. But a lot of times, you're right, they don't do it. And especially the late. If there's a marquee late game, horrendous.
Oh, I totally agree.
There's going to be 4 games going on. You're only going to see that one.
That's it. I have a major problem with that.
To me, it's just put 3 up there at the same time and show the touchdowns. And
well, here's the thing, too, is that, again, being a little bit too close to the sun, here's where we broadcast from every day, the biggest and best sports book in the world. And we have, multiple awesome venues to watch sports and go check it out, and it's not a problem. How about the people that don't live in Las Vegas, or they want to go to bars? And this has been something that took off in a big-time way with Mike Palm several years ago.
Oh, yes, right.
You go somewhere for games. Mark my words, this will happen tonight, tomorrow, and definitely on Sunday across the country. You're going to get to your local watering hole and say, hold on a second here. I got 15 bets. I have 4 fantasy teams. Why is Fox News on? Why is the Weather Channel on? Can we get the games on here, please? And the people at they call it here, Mike Palm, Derek Stevens, active content management. Mm-hmm. And it's a major failure across the country. And I guarantee it's going to be again this weekend.
Yep. This total opened 46.5. Now, I know Dallas has supposed to have a horrible defense, and they were awful last year. But again, people bet what they want to see. Total's up to 48.5.
Yeah, taking money on that today. No surprise. Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian on the program coming up next. We will discuss hot topics for Week 1. He'll tell you the player who went undrafted in your league that you need to pick up now. I don't even know who it is. I'll find out with you next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, love it. Let's rock and roll. Our next guest, I'm the president of the fan club. He is a fantasy football Hall of Famer. He comes on this show every single Thursday during the football season to break down fantasy and also player props. GuillotineLeagues.com is the website, FantasyLife.com as well. He is Paul Charchian. Good afternoon, Charch. Thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing great. You can see I'm in a hotel room in Minneapolis today because the best part about fantasy football is the live draft with your friends in the preseason, right? It's the backyard. It's the barbecue. It's the guy talk. It's all the, the slaps on the back from last year, who was the champion, whoever finished last. It's all the great stuff that keeps us connected. And I flew back to Minnesota to go to home league drafts. And I think it's the most important thing that you can do in fantasy football is to keep that tradition alive.
Well said.
Yeah, totally agree. I'm in a ton of fantasy leagues.
Can I tell you what bugs me about home league drafts?
Yeah.
In a lot of leagues, it's all the people you've grown up with together. It's all the smack talking. It's all the BS. It's the profanity. It's the inappropriate jokes. It's the periodic nudity. And then somebody decides that they want to bring their kid because that kid loves fantasy football. And they bring the kid to the draft. And the whole vibe changes, right? Now all that stuff's out the window because everybody's walking on eggshells because somebody brought their kid. And the guy who brought the kid's always like, well, he loves fantasy football. He's a great fantasy mind. He won his 8th grade league. So, I'm bringing him, and he's my co-owner now. Don't be that guy.
No, you're right. You're right. Well said. I teased this before the break. I don't know which player you're talking about. I don't think Pauly knows who you're talking about. So tell us about the player who you're telling us right now went undrafted in your league, right? Probably across the country, but we need to pick him up right now.
Yes, before the weekend. And I'm not positive how this is going to play out, but we're going to make a case here to pick up Washington running back Chris Rodriguez. Now, over the course of August, when they dealt Brian Robinson, everybody flocked over to Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. And Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's average draft position went up 100 picks over the course of the month of August. 100 picks. But I don't know that he's going to be the guy who ends up with the big workload there to replace Brian Robinson. Austin Eckler probably, at least long-term, ends up in the same role that he's always been, like periodic runner and the pass catcher on third down. Chris Rodriguez is a fascinating 3-year player, big physical back. And in limited work in his previous 2 years, almost 5 yards per carry. And then get this on Chris Rodriguez. He only had 35 rushes last year, which is admittedly very small sample size. But among every NFL player with 35 rushes last year, Chris Rodriguez ranked number 1 in broken tackle rate. He's the likely goal line back for Washington. And if it turns out, we don't know for sure who's going to be the starter, where this thing's going to shake out, but just give yourself a chance to be in on Chris Rodriguez, because you might have the starting running back on a top 5 offense this year.
Okay, very good.
Would you look for anytime touchdown on him like right now?
Yeah, I bet that's sitting at plus, if it's even bettable, it's sitting at like plus 5,000.
Oh, look.
All right. Well,
I'm
you're
guessing. So
yeah,
that's a real opportunity.
I don't see him.
He might not be listed.
Okay, spots, so give us a guy or two who was selected in the first couple rounds, and his stock is dropping.
The stock is the floor is falling out of Miami running back Devon Achane.
Yeah,
and top 10 fantasy running back last year. We talked about him like 2 months ago, but not everybody has mentally recorded every utterance that we've ever had, Mitch and Pauly, but they should. He was a wizard last year in PPR leagues with 80 receptions, 600 receiving yards, running back 10 last year. But so many negative variables you have to dodge over the course of a long season for Miami, a team that's got kind of a stench of death on them. Bad offensive line. He's got his own injury history, including right now when he's nursing a calf injury, college injury filled, rookie or injury filled. Last year, he dodged the injury bullet, but I don't know that he can do that 2 straight years. And the next sack on Tua could be the last of his career. And here's the real thing that is, I believe, is correctly tanked Devon Achane's average draft position and outlook for this year. It's the emergence of Ollie Gordon,
yes.
The gigantic runner for Miami. Here's another anytime touchdown guy right here.
Yep, plus 255.
He is going to be the goal line back.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
There you go.
I love that.
He's
going to be the goal line back, not Achane. Achane last year on carries inside the 5 converted those carries into touchdowns at the lowest rate of all NFL starting running backs, 21% touchdown conversion rate. They are not going to keep using Achane at the goal line. They're going to go to Ollie Gordon in Miami.
Very good. I did find numbers, by the way, on Chris Rodriguez.
Oh, you did?
Not nearly as high as you would think.
did?
No, he's between plus 170 and plus 215 to score anytime. So books are onto this, or either that or else bettors really drove that number down.
Yeah. Is Scatterbo going to be the goal line guy too? He's 3-1 to score.
Yeah, presumed, but he missed all of his rookie training camp, and that takes a lot of the interest away from him for me. But it's not going to be Tyrone Tracy. He's not built for that. It's a converted wide receiver, for Pete's sake. But if there is a game all year where Tyrone Tracy might get the work, it's this one, just because Scatabo missed so much time. But that is somebody that you could play that angle. Because Tyrone Tracy's just not built for that, and Scatabo is. That's why they drafted him, is for tough short yardage opportunities like at the stripe. Now we just need the Giants offense to actually get to the stripe. That's a whole other conversation on whether or not they can do that.
Yeah, that's fair. How about a bottom 3 fantasy quarterback with a strong grade Sunday?
I don't know why Joe Flacco was going as the 30th quarterback off the board. I think that is a huge mistake. For the most part, Kevin Stefanski has put together shockingly competent offenses when he's not anchored to Deshaun Watson. Yeah, the Deshaun Watson stuff was killing his offenses, but you go back through Kevin Stefanski's years as head coach, in which he's won Coach of the Year twice. He's been great when he doesn't have Deshaun Watson. Last year they started Watson for 7 games. They never topped 18 points. Jameis Winston rolls in, and the Browns are suddenly scoring 24, 29, 32 points. All Kevin Stefanski needs is competent quarterbacking, and Flacco gives you that and more. If you look at what he did 2 years ago with Kevin Stefanski in those last 5 games of the year, when he powered the Browns into the playoffs, Flacco was fantastic, and so were his receivers. And he's got better receivers now. Jerry Jeudy's good. David Njoku with Flacco 2 years ago was the highest scoring tight end in the league over those games. And then they've got a promising young player, another player that if he wasn't drafted, you should go get, Cedric Tillman as well. And it's against the Bengals. We know how this game script is going to go. Bengals are going to score a ton of points. They gave up the 4th most passing touchdowns last year. The secondary still no good. And the Flacco's going to be throwing his arm out of socket in this game. I like Joe Flacco. He's way up as my quarterback number 12, despite being drafted as quarterback 30 overall.
All right, let's flip it then. And it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian. Give us a quarterback like in the top 12 range overall on the year that you really don't like this week.
All right, let's talk about Justin Fields, your new Jets starter against Pittsburgh. Double revenge game, by the way, for both of the quarterbacks here. But sticking with the Field side, one of my key hesitations, Field is playing against a coaching staff that knows him and his many deficiencies extremely well. There is nothing Justin Fields is going to bring to the table that the Steelers coaches didn't see 1,000 times in practices all last year. And then the Jets losing starting guard, Elijah Vera-Tucker, first-round talent, their best offensive lineman this week. And here comes the Steelers pass rush, ranked number 1 last year by Pro Football Focus. Here comes Cam Hayward, TJ Watt, and you've got a secondary with Jalen Ramsey and Joey Porter, Darius Slay. This is a tough spot. And you might be thinking, as you know, Justin Fields is not a great passer anyway, but you might be like, oh, I'm just here for the legs. I'm here for the rushing. Well, Steelers allowed the 4th fewest quarterback rushing yards last year and just 2 quarterback rushing touchdowns all season. I don't like Fields for rushing or receiving or passing in this game.
Okay. I told you last night that I was betting a running back prop in that game, and I did. I took the rookie Caleb Johnson over 17.5 rushing yards, minus 115. Other books had like 24.5, 25.5, but you don't love him against the Jets either, do you?
No, I mean, that line is so low that I could see it, but I have multiple worries about Caleb Johnson. You know, they listed him as 3rd on the official depth chart, but they lie on the depth chart all the time. Yeah. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. And they love to punish rookies. Coaches are so petty. They love to punish rookies and put them down on the depth chart. It's pretty dumb. But here's what would worry me. Arthur Smith is your offensive coordinator in Pittsburgh. He was handed Bijan Robinson with the 8th overall pick in that draft class 3 years ago. So what did Arthur Smith do with Bijan Robinson, whose talent level's on a whole different level, the 8th overall pick? Bijan was used very lightly for 10 weeks, including not scoring a rushing touchdown until week 8, and he didn't top 62 rushing yards, or he topped 62 rushing yards just twice in 10 weeks. Arthur Smith just doesn't like to use his rookies, and I'm worried it's going to be a lot of Kenneth Gainwell in this game.
Yuck. More with Charge coming up next. We'll have a look at tonight's game, Eagles-Cowboys here on VSiN.
On September 19th, producer Jordan Peele invites you to the movie Him and asks the question, what are you willing to sacrifice for greatness?
I ain't a killer, but don't. Do you want what I have?
Yes, sir. And worshiped you growing up.
You have to take it from me.
Never meet
Do you want to know what you're getting yourself into?
your idols.
Just think of it as a gift from the gods. Run.
Him, directed by Justin Tipping. Only in theaters September 19th. Rated R.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Rolling along here with Fantasy Football Hall of Famer Paul Charchian with GuillotineLeagues.com, FantasyLife.com as well. He is on the progressive guest line. In a couple of moments, we will get his thoughts on tonight's opener between the Eagles and the Cowboys. But as you mentioned in the first segment, you are back doing fantasy drafts in Minneapolis. So you have been around the Vikings and that team. And on K-Fan, they're the flagship home for decades. You know the team really, really well. What are your thoughts about J.J. McCarthy making his first start on Monday night? And then tell us about a guy, expand on Jordan Mason, who you gave out several weeks ago to lead the league in rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, really optimistic. And I think there's going to be a strong angle here for Jordan Mason. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's start with J.J. McCarthy. Youngest starting quarterback in the league, 22 years old. This is a tough spot for your first start. Not that it's so much national television because he's been in big spots at Michigan, but the NFL is a different beast than that entirely. What worries me a little bit about McCarthy, really three things. Number one, all the tumult at wide receiver for the Vikings. Jordan Addison suspended. Then Adam Thielen just acquired, the 10 days working together. Justin Jefferson missed all of August with a hamstring injury, so they didn't get a bunch of reps in the preseason with Justin Jefferson. The number 3 receiver, Jalen Naylor, missed most of August with a hand injury, didn't get any reps with him either. The Vikings rebuilt their offensive line. They've got 3 new starters, one of whom's a rookie. Does that all come together in week 1? Maybe, maybe not. But maybe as much as anything else, how much is Kevin O'Connell going to even ask him to do in this game? The Bears have got a fantastic pass defense and a terrible run defense. They did last year, and the personnel is very similar defensively for the Bears. The path of least resistance is on the ground and very limited volume from J.J. McCarthy. This could be a 25-pass game for McCarthy. I don't see a scenario where the Bears are way out ahead and the Vikings are playing catch-up. This should be a close, low-scoring game, and one in which the Vikings are changing their model as a balanced offense. Last year, the Bears allowed the fewest passing touchdowns in the league, just 17, and 13 of the 17 opponents scored 0 or 1 passing touchdown. I like the under 1.5 passing touchdowns for J.J. McCarthy here. And I believe his passing line is sitting at about, was it 210, 220 yards?
220, yep.
220. I just think there's not enough volume to support that. Not enough passes coming from J.J. McCarthy to support even that modest kind of number. Last year, 7 different starting quarterbacks against the Bears failed to top 184 yards. So be sure to watch. Bears have got an elite cornerback in Jalen Johnson. Be sure to watch his status because Jalen Johnson being in or out does change some of this a bit. But if Jalen Johnson goes, I think there's a lot of reasons here to be cautious on J.J. McCarthy, regardless of whatever optimism we may have on him long term.
Okay. Very good. So what does that mean with the running game? Who you want to target? Your buddy?
Well, yeah, the running game here is going to be all about Jordan Mason.
That's
I'm
right.
really, really excited about where this can go. Kevin O'Connell's repeatedly said going to have a balanced offense. It starts right here, right now against Chicago. Monday night. Chicago ranked 31st in rushing yards allowed last year at 120 per game, and they allowed the most rushing touchdowns in the league last year. This Jordan Mason is the goal line back for Minnesota. He's 20 pounds heavier than Aaron Jones. This is what he's built for. And the Vikings' revitalized offensive line through the middle, left guard, center, right guard, should really suggest this team can get push and be more effective than they have been the past 3 years under Kevin O'Connell, where this team simply could not run the ball inside the 5. Now they're going to be able to do that, and it's all about Jordan Mason. I love the Jordan Mason anytime touchdown. I like him at first touchdown, and I like him at 2 touchdown, which you can get at around plus 1,100. 2 touchdown upside for Jordan Mason in this game against the team that allowed the most rushing touchdowns last year.
Wow. That would be amazing if that would come in for the first week of the season based on all the bets that we've talked about and you've given out on Jordan Mason. Okay, how about tonight's game? The betting market is pretty much expecting a blowout here. The numbers, it was 6.5 last week, up to as high as 9 earlier in the week. Now pretty much 8.5, and no surprise here, money on the over to push it to 48.5 today.
I know everybody's assuming the Eagle. I also believe this is going to be a blowout. I think the Eagles are going to win this handily. The consensus seems to be that Dallas is just going to be able to pass their way to points in the second half of a game that the Eagles don't care about anymore. But I don't even know if that part is true. This could just simply be a one-sided affair, in part because the Dallas running game is awful.
Yeah.
They've got no talent here. Javonte Williams last year was horrible. Among starting running backs last year, Javonte Williams was dead last in yards, second to last in yards per carry, fifth from last in broken tackle rate, second to last in yards after contact. And here's the Eagles' run defense. They allowed the fewest rushing touchdowns last year, just 5 all year. This is a brutal spot for the running game for Dallas. And so with no threat of the running game, with the Eagles out ahead, I'm nervous that they're going to be able to pin their ears back, go after Dak Prescott. They've got good cornerbacks, particularly Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean are just awesome. That might not leave a lot of room for CeeDee Lamb, for George Pickens. I'm nervous that Dallas isn't even in a blowout, isn't even going to be able to pass their way to a lot of respectable numbers here.
We got a couple tweets on this. Last year in week 1, Hurts ran 11 times. What do you think of that number tonight? I mean, I would say I'd go under then if you expect a blowout, but then who goes off and eats for Philadelphia?
Well, what I love about Philadelphia, and from a fantasy perspective, is they don't have any middling players, right? They've got great wide receivers in Brown and Smith, and then it just falls off the table to Jahan Dotson, who you would never start. And so I like that part. We're starting all of the Eagles that you would consider starting here. As for the 11 rushes, they have no reason to run him 11 times in this game.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll come close to 11 rushes, which is an abnormally high number anyway. But I can't imagine a scenario here where the Eagles need to put their quarterback at risk 11 times. So I don't think that's going to happen. Will Shipley might end up seeing a fair amount of run as the backup behind Saquon Barkley in the second half. And, that might be an angle if you think there's a blowout.
Damn right.
Yeah, people were betting him as high as 12-1.
Was that high?
Yeah, anytime touchdown.
Oh, wow. It's cut in half some places.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do we
That's a lot.
Get an appearance tonight, or how much of it will we see from Jadon Blue, rookie running back for the Cowboys?
I don't like him. I'll be honest. I didn't like what I saw from him in college. He wasn't able to cement a lead role for very much of his college experience. Comes into this game hurting. I think in any way, even at full health, Jadon Blue, the rookie, 5th round rookie, he's a role player kind of guy, not a workhorse guy. I could see maybe a couple passes coming his way at some point, but I don't think Jadon Blue is going to be a big factor here, for better or worse. And one other player I should mention, I've heard some people that are interested in Jake Ferguson, the tight end for the for the Cowboys, and trying to find an angle there. The Eagles allowed the fewest yards to tight ends last year. I don't think Jake Ferguson is somebody you could necessarily pivot to. So
I disagree with you on
guys,
that one.
Look, I'm struggling here. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is great, and he's probably going to be fine in totality. But get this, he faced the Eagles in one matchup last year. He got targeted 10 times against the Eagles in that one matchup. He had 21 receiving yards on the game on 10 targets for CeeDee Lamb.
They did get torched in the 2 playoff games at home. Zach Ertz had 16 targets. And then the duo in Los Angeles lit him up too. But I think he can do something tonight. But you're right. It's hard. The only case to be made is, are they throwing the ball, getting their ass kicked in the second half?
Right. All right, pal.
Yeah, that is about it. Now, I want to mention one thing. So I think we've got just a moment. They got the 2 great cornerbacks for the Eagles, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. The other cornerback, Cooper DeJean plays a slot. Adoree Jackson, that's like the one guy. Pickens could abuse Adoree Jackson.
Okay.
Adoree Jackson is 5'11" and he weighs 185 pounds. That's me. Pickens can go out and abuse him downfield. That is the one receiver matchup that I'm interested in. George Pickens got the big body. right? He boxes out defenders. He hauls in those 50-50 balls downfield. That it might be an exploitable angle against Adoree Jackson, who the Eagles used to roast Adoree Jackson. I don't even know why they signed him, honestly. I don't understand why he's on roster, honestly. But that might be something that might be an angle if you're looking for one.
All right, pal. Great to have it back. Thanks for the time as always. Good luck tonight and this weekend.
Thanks. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Great job. As the official horse racing partner of VEASAN, First Bet is built for bettors who demand more. First Bet isn't just about placing a bet. It's helping bettors of all levels with handicapping tools that provide data-driven insights to help you make smarter bets. Their tools give you win, place, and show probabilities for each runner so you can quickly and easily identify good value plays and improve your ROI. Take advantage of their limited time $250 sign-up offer, and to claim the bonus, use promo code VEASAN250 when you sign up in the First Bet app or at firstbet.com. Promo code VEASAN250.
Up next, we will tell you about the player who has scored his team's first touchdown of the game 19 times the last 3 seasons.